Alright, so I feel like it's been a while since I myself have talked about Star Wars and all the upcoming projects, or at least what's been happening with the Star Wars universe. So now that Star Wars Celebration is behind us and we got an announcement of a bunch of projects, I just kind of want to give my thoughts on the 3 upcoming films that we found out about. So let's get to that. Okay, so one thing we're going to get out of the way very quick. The reason I myself don't talk about Star Wars and the guys do over when they're talking about, Andor or doing whatever with the podcast, the more Star Wars content I make, it's just going to be negative reactions. Largely on YouTube, you have to be negative about Star Wars and hate whatever the echo chamber hates and support the idea of everything's being rebooted or whatever, and if you're positive about anything in the sequel trilogy, you tend to get a lot of hate. So that's why I kind of stopped covering Star Wars. If you guys would like my thoughts on it, maybe I can bring them back in this sort of type of video where I talk about more things together in one, but we'll see about that in the future. Either way though, 3 big movie announcements were made. So I guess we're going to start with the earliest one in the timeline, James Mangold, who directed Logan. He's going to be doing the upcoming, or releasing the upcoming Indiana Jones. They revealed he's making a film at the beginning of the Star Wars Jedi timeline, 25,000 years prior to the events of Star Wars A New Hope, and this is going to be about the first Jedi. Naturally, the first idea that hit my head was, the backpack lightsabers and everything. I think most Star Wars fans got that same idea, which I think would be pretty awesome to see, honestly, and gets me excited for what this could be. Like, they did comics, like, Dawn of the Jedi? It's been a couple years since I read that, but hopefully they take that idea and sort of play with it and add a lot more mysticism and a lot more of the unknown to the Force. I would definitely love that. The second project, and this is the one that I think a lot of people did not expect, but it's happening, and this is a sequel to The Rise of Skywalker, starring, yes, Rey is back, Daisy Ridley is back, and they're jumping 15 years, and she's trying to put together a new Jedi Order. And it's interesting that this is how they're doing it. They're not calling it a trilogy, which I think is smart. Let's take it one at a time, and maybe have some ideas this time in place so the trilogy isn't all over the place, right? So it kind of has a coherent narrative structure beyond just one film. You can set it up, but don't announce it. Like, just wait a second. Let's get this out the door. And we found out that that's actually further along than most people thought. They're not just announcing these out of nowhere. Like, scripts are all, in various stages. And they said, yeah, we're making a lot of progress on these, which I think is great. Again, I'm excited to see what this has to offer, what they could do. And along with this, there was just the announcement of, hey, remember that Rogue Squadron? That could return. Or it might be a TV show. We don't know. We're still working on it. Move past that. Okay, well, let's move past that. The one that's not that surprising is a Mandoverse film. By the sounds of it, this is going to sort of, I guess, end everything, tie things together, or maybe just be the culmination of everything, and then we move past Rise of Skywalker into this new era, and then to the far, past. So we got the future and the past. We'll maybe be done with this finally. And it sounds pretty awesome. Like, you're going to be building Mando, whatever they did in Book of Boba Fett, which sounds like that could get a follow-up season. Ahsoka now. We saw Thrawn and everything. Looks like that's all going to converge into one big film. My guess is they call it, like, Star Wars Heir to the Empire or something. You're going to bring back Luke. He's going to be de-aged. You're going to give a lot of people what they're hoping out of this. Big budget movie means that they can spend all the money they want on, like, 2.5 hours, which I think is great. So overall, I love all 3 announcements. I'm excited for all 3 for different reasons. And I just can't wait to see, what the Star Wars universe has to offer to us. And what sort of things are in play here. Like, what their plans are. Because they did tease that there's going to be connective tissue between all of these. Now, naturally, the original Sacred Jedi texts, oh, look what Rey has to form a new Jedi Order, right? So there's a little bit there. And most people are already speculating, wait a second. They kind of teased that we could see Daisy Ridley elsewhere. Does this mean, like, at the end of the Mandoverse movie or whatever? Are we going to like flash forward? Does she take Grogu into her Jedi Order? Probably. That'd be smart for marketing purposes. So I do think that there's a lot of excitement for Star Wars fans that just want more Star Wars, which is me. You know, so I'm super excited. Hopefully you guys enjoy my quick video here, summing everything up, my thoughts. Obviously there was a lot more. Ahsoka trailer, great. I'm hyped for everything. Rebels is still my favorite Star Wars thing that's been done by Disney. Actually, might be my favorite Star Wars thing ever now that I think about it, like in terms of content. I'll have to revisit it and see if that's gonna hold true, but I think it does. So I'm just excited. There's so much Star Wars content. It's not going away. It's not dying. There's no reboots or anything. It's just more Star Wars, and I will take more Star Wars. Thank you.